who has successfully navigated this path and is ready to share his knowledge and insights. Let me introduce our guest speaker, Mr. Pubudu Wickramathunge, Senior Software Engineer at ISA, Air Arabia, and a proud graduate of the University of Kelaniya. So without further delay, I warmly invite Mr. Pubudu Wickramathunge to conduct today's session. Over to you, sir.
Okay, so am I audible, guys?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay, thank you. So, good evening, guys. So, first of all, it's honestly a real pleasure to be here and conduct this session for you. And so, I'm guessing this most of the people are in third year right now. So, as our topic of the discussion, I know what's is the main question in your head right now. So, who the hell is going to give me an internship, right? So that is the $1 million question. So yeah, I know that feeling. So because I had the same exact question in my third year. So uh, but let's be honest, I cannot obviously give you an answer for that one. So but what I can do is I will guide you in a way where you can figure out that answer by yourself. So let me share the screen first. So let's okay. Okay. Is my presentation visible for you?
Yes, sir, visible.
Okay, thank you. So so as I said, I was in the exact same situation as you guys, and I have been a student applying everywhere for every job without proper guidance, proper idea how to do this thing. So I have the experience, and also now I have been in the other side as well, interviewing these interns and selecting and mentoring. So I know the both the path. So I hope I can give you a better idea how to navigate through this phase. So today I'm going to share what actually matters, not the theory, not like motivation, but actually how it is work and what you need to make this land on this SC internship. So before we start, just a couple of things I need to tell you. So this session is mainly focused on software engineering internships. So as per my understanding, so not specifically DevOps, ML, or QA, those kind of areas, but more generally on the SC roles. But actually, if those guys also want to participate, you guys can get something out of this session as well, as I believe. So, and also, I'm glad you guys chose this path, this SC path, uh, because it is hard right now. So we all know the situation currently going on with the AI and the layoffs, those kind of things. The market is very tough right now. So, but the thing is, it is not impossible. So, and also this issue is for every SC career path. So don't be afraid or don't think about that too much. Do your best and back your decision to select this path and work on it. So eventually, no matter how is the path easy or hard, eventually you will have a bright career path in this field. So we know no matter what, nobody will be able to replace us. and this job positions will be there for the long future. So other than to that, I need to tell you guys I won't be able to cover everything in detail because of we have time constraint, and also uh, it will get boring if I just keep talking. So feel free to interrupt or ask question or like challenge me. So let's try to make this interactive so you guys won't feel boring, and you will get best out of the session. So one more thing is this the things what I'm saying comes from my experience and from my opinion. So it can be vary from company to company and also to person, but the core idea will be still apply. Okay. So and uh, one last warning is there's basically nothing on my slides. So sorry for that. And so don't depend on the slide. Listen to me and try to understand what I'm saying and grab something out of it. So, okay, let me go to the first slide. Okay, let me give you the reality first. What is happening in the industry right now? So recently I had a chat with our talent acquisition department. So because I wanted to give you the real idea on how things work. So as per them, like if we open an internship position today on position, within the first day we will get like 100 applications. Okay. So what happened next is we don't like we cannot actually manually go through everything. 100 application, it is not possible to evaluate. So what we do is we use tools like ATS system that automatically filter CVs into categories. Okay. So that ATS system mostly doing is it will categorize the CVs into three A, B, C like that. Highest uh, CVs with the points will go to the A category. What we are doing next is we are only selecting those A category CVs only. From those, we will send out like let's say 15 or 20 responses to the applicant to saying do this online coding test or automated interview. So from there we are evaluating again using the our like tools. So nowadays every company has buy this tool like subscribe to this tool. So those tools will do the most of the shortlisting processing. So also we are hiring some other companies for this recruitment process. So this is like a separate area currently. Previously we were just sending the CV and they are checking, they are calling the interviews. And that is not the case right now. So that is now it is more structured and it is more strict. So after getting those, let's say 15 to 20 automated interviews, we are choosing like 3 to 5, mostly 5, but most of the cases it is 3 candidates to do the actual interviews with the interview panel. So from there, we will pick one person. Okay, so 100 applicants applied, but only one person will get the job. That is the reality in the current situation. So this, as I said, this is not only for the software engineering, all the career, actually, for the other career path, it is even worse than software engineering. So, but for the software engineering, we have a lot of openings. Most of the other jobs we don't see opening at least. So, this is actually better, this SE part. So I'm not saying this to scare you, but I'm saying this to understand one thing. This process, this game, we cannot play casual. So you have to level up as a candidate. You have to level up. You have to be strategic to win this game. Okay, because this, as I said, this from these 100 applicants, they are not failing. 99 are failing, right? So those 99 are not failing because they are not capable. They uh, fail because they are not playing according to the process. That's why they are failing. Like they have some gaps in between these processes. I will tell you more about that one. So let's say uh, this getting internship is not about like hard work right now. It is about how it is smart you play the game. So as I said, this most of the things are automated right now. So because of that, we have to play according to that. So no matter how like bright or brilliant you are, how much of a knowledge you have, if you cannot like filter out within these processes, you won't get shortlisted. That is the actual issue here. So we have to understand this first and then play according to that. So let me give you an idea on what is like companies looking for when opening a software engineering role like vacant. So like what is the problem here is lot of student applicants thinks companies expect a complete software engineer from an intern, right? So that is not the truth at all. Like we are not expecting like experienced senior level engineer, right? We are just selecting a guy to give a training. That is not a like a much of a thing. We don't have to consider much of a thing. But what we need is like we are making a actual investment for you. So you are coming to here as a trainee. We are like allocating our senior resources to train you and giving you the details exposure to the system. So that is an investment actually. It is not about the compensation you are getting, but the time we are like allocating to it. That is an investment. So with this investment, what we are trying to get is, are you a someone we can grow into a solid engineer over time? Like within like 1 2 years, can we get something out of you? That is what we are trying to understand within this interviewing process. Let's say this selection process. So what are we actually looking for? Like we are looking for signals, not the knowledge, your knowledge. We are looking for like simple things. Can you think like an engineer? Like uh, when you see a problem, do you break it down logically? Can you solve a problem if it is not perfect? Can you learn fast? Like because in real jobs you will learning every day anyway, right? We are learning every day. We are googling. We are using AI tools. Those things we are checking. Can you do it? Can you do it effectively? That is what we are checking in a trainee selection process and also communication. So currently, most of the uh, companies in Sri Lanka are working for like let's say some other global company or they're doing some other international project or something like that because we don't have much of a software engineering projects within the Sri Lanka, so we are working with global clients. Because of that, that communication need to be clear. That mean what I mean is you don't need to have the like a perfect English or something like that. What you need to have is, can you explain what you are thinking? Like can you uh, get something out of the other person? Like that is what we are meaning by this communication. Okay. If it is not, it is very hard to work with you. Or not for the other clients as well, but for the within the local community as well. So that is it. We are looking for a, can you think as an engineer? Can you solve problems? How it's like to break down? How is your approach that one? And also, are you learning? Can you communicate? Those are the things we are actually looking for, looking in a intern. So since now you understand that, uh, let me show you how to get this job, how to land on a SE internship. Let me introduce you a like framework, like a roadmap to uh, achieve this. So This is actually, we can say this is the basic road framework. If you are working to get an internship, you need to work under this one. So if you are doing something, it need to be fit in one of these categories. First one is skills, the second is project, resume, applying, and interviewing. So these, if you are doing something within this phase, you have to, it need to be under one of these categories. Otherwise, you are doing a unnecessary thing. That is the actually this framework. Okay. Um, this this actually these spaces within this roadmap, these spaces filters you in a like a different way. So this is from let's say we can say this skills to interview is uh, A to Z process for the software engineering job. So let's say your skills show whether you have the foundation. Okay? Projects will show whether you can actually build something or what is your real world experience. Resume decides whether you get even get noticed, like will they filter you out. Application decide whether you get a chance. So and lastly, the interview will decide whether you get the offer. So step by step, from the 0 to 100, this process will decide whether you get the job or not. But the thing we are seeing is this most of the time these candidates, these trainees focus only on one thing. Let's say only on coding. They like grind on problems, do the lead code like 40 hours a week, like that. They master the coding, but not the other area. So they are not getting like getting to the last phase actually. They are not going passing this application level. So what you need to understand is each of these 5 steps are equally important as the others. So we have to work according to step by step. Okay. So let me first talk about the skills. Okay. The thing is, you guys have already learning these skills from first year, right? So we came in the first semester. We learned programming concept with C. We learned our first language. Second, in the second semester, we learned double OP and database. Like that, we are learning these skills. We are collecting these skills for our career journey. Languages, concepts, tools, frameworks. When you comes to the intern phase within the third year, second semester, you have all the skills you need to have when fresh software engineer. Okay, it is not like you are starting from zero. But the problem I see with the most of the student is you feel like you need to know everything. Like what you are doing is, I need to learn 5 languages. I need to know Java, Python, Go, all the things I need to know. I need to know 10 frameworks, cloud I need to do, AI I need to do. Everything you think you to get a software engineering internship, you need to be a like a software engineering department. That is not the truth. We don't look for a like a guy with 10 languages, perfect GPA, know every trending framework. We don't like look at a candidate like that. But we actually need this strong fundamentals. That's it. Like, but in within that fundamentals, you need to be dangerous in the basics. Like you need to master those things. So what do I mean by this basic things is like double OP, solid principles, basic design patterns, architectural patterns, data structures and algorithm, how API works, databases, like These are the things like define you as a fundamentally solid candidate. Okay, not only like this, not learning this concept is not enough. You need to understand how these are used, what are the different of each other, how we can utilize these things, what is the like pros and cons using these things. Those fundamentals you have to be strong uh, on those areas. Okay, so I think you guys know what you need to understand, or what you need to learn to get an as fundamentals to get an SC internship. You need and you what you need to do is you need to master those things. This double look. For example, when we are like waiting a SC internship. So as I said, we are like interviewing 3 to 5 people for a one opening. So what we do is we uh, at some categories, let's say double OP, database, data structures and algorithm, and uh, those kind of technical things, as well as communication, problem solving, thinking, like that we are like categorizing, so adding some categories, and we are giving points based on those points only. We are choosing the final selected candidate. So what I need to tell you is these things is the like foundation. This is the most needed thing. Double OP, solid principles, design patterns, architectural patterns, data structures and algorithm, basic idea of APIs, databases and SQL. Like when I talk about databases, you need to understand what is a relational database, what is a non-relational database, what is the difference, where we can use relational, where should we not use relational. Those kind of idea you should have. Okay. So I was saying you don't need to like understand 10 languages. You don't need to master 10 languages. Get a one language, like one is enough actually. So you can basically you can select a tech stack first. Some guys go with Java, some guys go with Merl, like that. You can select a one. We are not like guiding you to select a specific one. You can select anything, okay, according to your preference. Let's say you selected Java. Next, what you have to do is within Java, learn some framework like Spring Boot. Okay, not just how to use it, but how things actually work, how Java and Spring Boot communicate, how Spring Boot uh, optimize Java to better performance and better utilization, how it is introducing new features on top of Java. Those kind of things, like you have to learn. When you are learning these things, you cannot like just read the documentation or watch a tutorial. You have to build something with it. Okay? That way, you can understand. When you are building, you let's say you see an annotation, like basic like risk control annotation you see when you are building a API with Java. So you click that annotation and see the documentation. What is this? You try to remember it with your experience. In that level, so once you are getting asked in the interview, what is a risk controller means? You know, you remember that exact moment you checked. I was building this one and I saw this one. I went there and checked what is this one. So you can say this is for the API development. This is calling REST API. They like that and blah blah blah. You can explain with your experience. Okay, that way we know you have the experience and you have been exposed to these things and you have the fundamentals. Otherwise, if you like say the definition, it won't matter. Definition will get like it won't actually matter for us. We don't care if you know the definition. No, no, because if without the usage, without knowing the usage or without the actual understanding, those definition has zero value. That is one thing. Okay, so that is the between difference between this. I know this concept exists and the I understand why this exists and when to use it. Okay, we prefer the second one. You know why this exists and when to use it. Okay. So also this first point, this backend, front end, and fundamentals. Try not to limit yourself to you are uh, preparing for the internship. Huh? So don't say I'm only backend developer, I'm front end developer. You are applying for internship, you are still learning. So be flexible. Have some exposure to front end and back end and database level, database admin level, and a bit of learn bit of DevOps. That is also a must, and AI, that is also a must these days. You just have to simple idea about those things. Don't just say I am a back end engineer, I'm a front end engineer. That way you are reducing the scope of your potential jobs. So don't do that. You can learn once you land on the job. So be mindful about that, and also keep the don't limit yourself. Keep the opportunities open to yourself. Okay. So and also this focus and coverage. This I told you, right? You need to focus on one thing, or let's say two or three things, and master those things. Others also you should have the idea, but you don't need to master. If you are searching for a Python developer position, yes, you should have the Python developer exposure. Otherwise, you are looking for a Java developer position. There is no, there is a value, but there is not a must condition you have to master the Python like that. Because of that, focus on what you can achieve within our constraint time, and focus on this, and also this depth uh, versus tools. So also try to like uh, uh, learn these tools let's say Git versus Bitbucket. You know the Git bit, and also Bitbucket also bit you have worked, but you don't know anything uh, deeply. But you need to do is don't focus on the tools, focus on the concept. Like Bitbucket is also working in on top of Git, right? So learn the Git, and after that you can easily grab the tools. So focus on the concepts and the fundamentals and the basic idea, not the tools or the syntax. Okay, so let me also one thing is I should mention is, okay, I will mention that later. Let's go to the next part. Okay. So you have the skills now. You have mastered some programming languages. You know the frameworks. You know your way around, and tools. Those things you know. Next thing is, this is the most important part as trainees of tech engineers. So you have to show you know the skills, right? We learn the skills. Now what you have to do is you have to show that you know these skills. Just adding it to the CV doesn't matter. You have to show the interview panel or the recruitment guy that you know these skills. How can we do that is projects. Okay. So project is, as I mentioned here, project is the proof. You have experience, you have worked on, you know, you have the knowledge. That is the proof. project. This is the most important part when you are landing on a job. So don't sleep on this. Like what I have seen is like let's say uh, I have once done career fair in SC, our software engineering student our department teaching unit, and also for our company, and also we did mock interviews last year as well for the in this third year. What I understood is you guys don't understand the importance of these projects. Okay, so you are applying for these trainees, right? You don't have industry experience, and this is all you have to prove yourself, that you need to understand this project are your experience. Okay, so as a like when I'm getting a CV or when I'm invited to an interview, what I do is I get the CV and go straight to the project section, not to the certificates, not to the courses or the what is skills you have. I go to the project. I see the first one, what he has done, and what technologies he has used, what other exposure he has. Under that, in that moment, I decide how I handle this candidate, how this interview goes. That is the main part this interview panel is considering. So be very careful about these projects. So I will like try to guide you through how to create a good project for your resume. So in a project, this is where like an interviewer will see what you have done. So don't make like I have to say, don't make your main project like a to-do app or a CRUD operation. Okay, so this is very common, and I have seen this multiple times. Actually, this one last year also, I told the guys, don't do this. Don't create to-do app or CRUD system as your main project. That way, as soon as I see that, I know he has done nothing within these 3 years. Like it tells me if I see a to do a CRUD operation or something like very common or very simple, I know he either just followed the YouTube tutorial or he just didn't have the like hunger or didn't push his himself beyond the basics. So that way I am like trapping I am creating like trap in my mind and keeping you there. I'm like don't considering yourself beyond that. No matter how good you are, I am in that mindset. He is not like not hungry for these things. He's don't have the passion. He don't really need this job. So that thing you guys have to understand first. This project is very important for you to land on your job. Like this will shape your interview as well. That you have to understand. Okay, don't copy some tutorial in YouTube and code that and add it to the CV. Or don't create two simple ones. Like try to understand a real world problem and solve that one. So a good project usually understand answers these three things. Okay, so first you need to understand what problem did you solve with this project. I'm talking about how you how you can understand a good project, or how you can like uh, check your project is good or not. You need to check what problem did you solve. That project you created need to solve some real world issue. Okay? Like there is no point of creating another to-do app or something like that. Second, how does your system actually works? That you need to understand. Okay, So in that way, this is my system. This is the issue I am solving, and this is how I am solving that. So those are the like basics of engineering work. Third, and the important one is what happened when the things fail. So you have solved a problem, you know how you solved it, and then you have to check edge cases. What happens when things fail? Like what happen if the API given a wrong response or cannot connect to the DB or DB has some invalid data. Like those kind of actual edge cases, like or the failure scenarios or the like those kind of scenarios you have to consider when you are creating a real world project. Like because once you get land on an internship job, you will be in a real system, right? So in a real system, most important part is handling these failure scenarios. Things fail all the time, like the that common story, right? So uh, let me say that. So I think some QA students will also be there. So some some let's say some software developers developed a bar system. Okay, just a bar. So give it to QA. So QA goes there and ordered 0 beers and 15 beers and -5 beers and string beer, like that. He is testing. Okay, so everything getting passed, and this thing getting deployed to the production. First user goes there and asks the bartender, where's the restroom? All the bars catching fire and system fails. Like that, those is small things, like small user cases, you have to understand. Okay, you have to cover those things. That gives the idea about how you think to the this interview panel. Those edge cases, those unfamiliar territories, like unfamiliar scenarios. Those things you have to understand and cover. So if you are solving a real world problem and you are covering all the, or not all, but at least let's say some things we can tell to the others. If your project is like that, we can say that is a good project. Okay, so let's say also a good project should have like unit testing, uh, and also exception handling, and also let's say for the this interview process, some front end and a good readme, and also it's better if it is deployed in some cloud environment. Like you have so many options, right? You have GitHub Actions, you have Vassal, you have like that. You can like freely deploy these things in the cloud and give like a demo link to the interview panel. So those things you have to consider. You have to have the like architectural diagrams for this project, and you have to understand like if let's say you get the project, interview pick your project and ask why you select this MongoDB instead of Postgres. You have to answer to that. You have to have a reason. You have to architect these things, right? So you are building your own project. You are the architect of it. You have to own the project and have the responsibility of your decision. You cannot just say we were learning Java in that module, so I used Java. We were learning this relational databases, so because of that I used this Postgres. That you cannot say. This project you done to like solve a real world problem or apply what you learned. So you cannot say I did this for theoretical reason. So like that, you have to have a actual reason. Those are, so hope you have the idea. that project should solve a real world problem. And second one is you have to have the idea what you did there. So how your system actually work from top to bottom. And third one is you have to cover failure scenarios, edge cases, those things. I'm not saying like you have to cover all the things, but some of it, at least you have to show them. You have the thought process, you have the thinking. You know this need to be there. Like that thinking you have to show. Fourth thing is you have to have the some unit test coverage. It is better if you handling exceptions. It is better if you are using some design patterns. It is better if you have deployed this somewhere, and those kind of things you have to consider. Okay, you have to have a README. This entity diagram is fine. Some flow diagrams, if there it is very good also, and also architectural designs. Those things you have to add to the project. So that is for the project, for a good project. Okay, so let's say mm, by this I'm not like saying you have to create a very complex project. Okay, you just have to get a very simple scenario. Let's say you are creating a car service app. So what a user is doing is uh, he's like getting a time slot to wash his car. So that is a simple scenario, right? Not much of a complexity there. So you have to understand the requirement there. So what the customer point of view he needs. What is the that service owner need? Those things you have to understand. Then you have to understand how you are going to build this simple. Okay, what technologies I'm going to use, what other frameworks I'm going to use, what are the edge cases there, what can fail, can two customers book the same time, how you are handling the concurrent bookings, like that. You have to understand within this simple thing. Okay, the project is should not be about a complex scenario. Like you don't need to have a complex e-commerce system. You just need to have some specific functionality, and within that specific functionality, try your best to cover 100%. Okay, so that way we know you can handle a small uh, scenario as a student. So why won't you cannot handle a big system once you have the experience? So that confidence as a candidate should give to the interview panel. That way, we can like with the confidence we can choose you to the position. So that is the thing about project. Okay. Next one is resume. So I hope you guys already have some idea on resume creations. So, but I will briefly go through that. So, let's say, so now you have the skills. Okay, you have created the skills for you required for your internship, and you have some good projects there. So, one or two good projects and some small things. That is fine. Okay. So now you are going to create your CV. So as I said in the opening, so HR is getting like 100 CVs. Okay, they are checking 100 CVs. They are getting exhausted. So they only like spend like 30 seconds in one CV. They are uh, getting their eye through the top to bottom of the CV. and they are in that moment they are deciding should we give more time to the CV or not. Okay. So first thing, when we are creating a CV, we should think about is this CV making the recruiting person and like don't like waste their time uh, because of this CV. Like create a get a good looking template. You can use Canva or Word is also fine. Find a nice template. Don't use too many colors. Okay, like black and white is also fine. If you want to add some blue or ash, something like that, that is also fine. But don't go beyond 2 to 3 colors. That will like hurt the eyes. Okay, that way their mental uh, state is going to like this is not a good CV. If this person cannot create a good CV, cannot organize his like work into a good CV, how can he compatible for this job? That is the first uh, filterization you are going to. So you have to create a eye-pleasing and nicely organized CV. Okay, keep the CV organized. You need to pass the eye test first of the recruiter. Okay, if it is going through a manual selection. Okay. Uh, Second thing is you need to understand what I should have in a well-crafted CV. So you need to understand what should I add. So first we are adding our names and the contact details, and after that we are giving some let's say summary, right? About ourselves. Our let's say in that phase also, that is what's the first thing that a recruiter going to read. So be very brief about it, and also be very like direct about it. Don't like say unrelated things like you have uh, you learned in this school. I have built these things. Don't say like that. Say like you are an undergraduate and familiar with these technologies and have experience using these technologies. And I am looking for an internship to expand my experience and apply my theoretical knowledge in the real world systems like that. You need to show them the passion you got. You need to show them why you need this internship. You are willing to do the hard work to in within this internship. That thing you have to say, and to back that up, you have to show them you have the fundamentals within the summary. So that is how you create in the summary. Don't this is same for the interview as well. I will go to that later, but in the summary as well, you have to be like that. What you have learned, what you have experienced learned, and what you are expecting to achieve within this internship. So after that, your CV should, since you are trainees, your CV should have the education section. Okay, so within that education section, add that you are undergraduate in this software engineering honors degree program in the University of Kelaniya. Have currently this GPA and majoring this domain machine data science. Those areas you have to mention what you are majoring. Okay, so after that you can add your you went to the this is school to for the A levels, follow this physical sciences stream or had this reference, but don't go into the too much details. That most of the time that doesn't matter. Actually, I have seen some scenarios that matters, that A school and those things. That is like exceptional. Most of the time, that doesn't matter. So don't add your O-level results in details. Those kind of mistakes don't do. Okay. If you have some other qualifications, or like let's say uh, some good English or IT diplomas, you can add. That is also fine. Within the education or within the certificate, that is up to you. So after that, uh, you can either add the skills or the projects. That is according to your let's say confidence. If you are very confident in your skills, you can add the skills. So that interview persons I will catch the skills first. After that, he will go to the experience. That's my projects. If you are very like confident in project section, add that first. So that way, he will go to the project section first. Okay. So that is also according to your preference. So, but if you are adding skills, you have to categorize those things, organize those things. Okay. So, I have backend level, I have this experience. Front end level, I have this experience. DB level, I have this experience. Version controlling tools like specific things, like let's say you have done testing related things, those kind of things. You know what you did within this time, so you can add a category. You have cloud experience, so those things categorize, like highlight and present. Okay. After that, let's say we are going to the projects. So here, uh, in the projects, you have to have the your most important and most comfortable project as the first project. Okay, so let's say you are uh, applying for a Java-based company. So you need to have a good Java-based project as your first one. Don't add like a project what you don't know, or you just barely worked on it, or it is not relevant to this thing, or doesn't carry much of a value. Those kind of projects don't add in the first as the first project. Edit your most important project. Okay, so that way interviewer goes to the CV and check your first project, and that is good one. So that will shape the interview. So for the projects, maybe 3 projects are enough, but you can add like others as well if you have uh, good projects. But thing is, 3 projects you can add data, but after that you can add like briefly 1-2 line description would be enough. You don't need to go to so much data since you are third year now. So actually you haven't done much of project. Most of the time, good projects will be 2 or 3. So don't like bluff yourself. Just focus on the good things. Okay. So when you are uh, putting a description or points to your project, what you have to do is you have to sell that project within the CV. Okay. So if you have done any specific thing, first thing you have to tell them the requirement. What is this project? Like, don't go beyond like one sentence. Just say this is this project I created to achieve this requirement. And after that, you can say this is using this architecture and these technologies. And also, then you can say special things like you have done unit testing. This is following the authorization like that. And I have integrated payment option. Some things like that you can add it to the project description. So that way you are telling interviewer, I know these things. You can ask me questions. Okay. So and also when I what I see mostly from your CVs is you guys are saying like I worked on the back end of this project, or I work on the front end, like that. Don't add like that. Just be specific. Say like I built this REST API to handling these user registrations with the authorization and authentication mechanism. So that way we know what you did. So that way we won't ask what is the exposure in you in this project. So what you did. So sometimes what happened with your like our interviews. So your senior badges interviews is I'm selecting one project and asking what you did there. Did you work on the backend? No, I didn't work on the back end. I did some front end related part. So I'm okay. Now I know he haven't worked on the back end. So that is uh, one minus point. So I'm good asking about the front end. Did you like at least integrate the back end and front end API integration? No, I did not. So after that, I asked what I am asking what you did in the project. He is saying he created the login page. That way, uh, you are like trapping the interviewer. Okay? He cannot ask follow-up questions. You are giving him very less chance to uh, ask some better questions, some let's say questions that you know from you. Okay? Don't do that. So at a good project, you have like let's say you have the idea from 0 to 100. So A2 you said you have the idea. It is okay if you haven't worked on the every part. So because we are doing the group projects mainly, it is okay, but have the idea. So if we ask, if the interviewer asks how the authorization handling here, you can say this is how it is handled. If he asks a specific question, you can say I didn't design or the implement this one, but I have the idea because I use that API to this functionality. Like that, you can say I have uh, given my contribution, but I couldn't work on the this area specifically. So he know if you had the chance, you would like work on that. So that you won't get any minus points from there. That is one thing to keep in mind. So, okay, that is okay. After that, you can add like technology, one line technologies. These are the technologies used in the project, like that you can add to the project under the project. So what I need to highlight is when you're adding a project to the CV, you need to understand the priority of your projects and the comfortability. So best and the most comfortable and the most suiting one you need to add as the first one, and then the second one, and then the third one, like that. It is okay if you are going for like 5 projects also, but don't add very descriptive description for the projects that does not carry much of a value uh, for the interview. Okay, so that way you won't prep yourself for that project. Interviewer know this is not like an important project. He has put it there, but these are the important one. I will question him on this one. Okay, so uh, those are the four main parts, no? Four, summary, education, skills, projects. After that, as trainee software engineers, you have to have some, let's say it is good to add some achievements and certificates also. So you are training, we don't know like your capabilities, so it is good to add those things. When you are going further in your career path, you can like drop these things, but as trainees of the engineers, so it is good to add some certificate achievements. Let's say if you let's say Microsoft ambassador, those kind of work you are doing, you can add if you are an IEEE some person, you can add those things. Uh, those kind of things also you can add certificate wise also give add according to the priority. So you can add the most important ones or hard ones to achieve like that. Those like I'm not underestimating these projects like solo learn the those kind of project certificates you can add there, but it is better if you can add some better ones, let's say AWS certificates, those kind of things. And these certificates will help the interview panel to identify, okay, he has worked on this thing, so he should know this thing. He has done a course on Java, so this guy should know it. Okay, that is about the certificate and achievement. Those five things should be there as a training CV. After that, you have the like not more important, but it is good to have sections. So also, if you have participated in hackathons or win there, so add that, of course. Okay, so after that, you have these optional things like I will go one by one. So your photo, that is actually optional. We can say it is based on the company. Some companies look not most, but very less of companies are checking the this photo, because sometimes some scenarios are there. Interview for the interview there, here comes one person, and for the when he comes to the job, it is totally different person, so we don't have any idea. uh, because only the interview panel is know the guy's face. So if those guys are not in the company, like let's say in the location, we don't know who this is this actually the guy who faced the interview or not. So to like avoid this kind of thing, some applications specifically ask when you are applying for the photo, or when you are applying for the photo, or like it is better, it is good if you can add it in the CV, but it is like most of the time it doesn't matter. So next thing is soft skills. So this one everybody knows you are adding same generic lies. Okay, so this is not like a we are not considering this much. It is good add soft skills. You have the problem solving skills, you have the leadership skills. Add it so it doesn't harm your CV, but we are not like considering this too like for the interview or the selection process. We will understand whether you have the soft skills needed within the interview process, or the like you guys are getting a call from HR, right? So that is also they are evaluating how you react, how you communicate, those kind of things. They are evaluating. So within those uh, interview process and the calls, they will know whether you have the required soft skills or not. So this part is doesn't carry much of a weight, but it is good to have. Other part is references. References also, that is highly uh, depend on the company. So some companies, that is also very less companies are looking for the references. Some companies doesn't require that at all. Some companies ask you for the references. In the trainee level, I don't think you would need references, but it is okay since you are adding our lecturers, so those uh, our lecturers, so that is okay. That is good to have in the CV. So you can add the references. So you can add references will be given upon request, like that. If you are running out of space in the CV, you can avoid the reference part and add that. I will give the references if you request me like that. So excuse me. Okay. So I think that is for the CV, right? So, and also one thing I need to mention is this ATS related things. So that is getting like that is becoming a very important part of CV preparations. So now most of the recruiters are using this ATS related things. So you have to consider that one, of course. It is better to be safe than sorry, right? So it is uh, of like keep in mind you need to create a ATS friendly CV. So what how you can achieve that is there are some online tools available. You can upload your CV and check whether your CV is passing the ATS test. So ATS will like define whether the CV is good for the job or not. So I earlier said like we are categorizing your CVs into three buckets, right? So ATS system will decide that. So how you can do is I will say that in the next slide as well. But what you can do to achieve this ATS is if you are using Canva, don't use like multiple text boxes, like multiple sections. Use a one text box and edit the sections under it. Because when ATS copying your CV from the PDF, if you are created using multiple text boxes, it will copy without like a let's say order. What you are seeing in the PDF is not the actual order. So yeah, um, creating like a different structure in the PDF level. It is happening inside the PDF. So what you are seeing is not the actual order. So ATS will copy that only, and using that one, it will like your CV will be messed up in the order. Like your contacts will be in the middle, your projects will be in the up. So like that. That way, it can sometimes cause ATL point deductions. Okay, so keep in mind that when you are creating a CV using Canva, use one single box, and within that, uh, go one by one sections. Okay, so also since you are trainees, when you are creating a CV, it is okay if you have a like one page CV also because since you don't have industry experience so much of experience, there is much no not like much of things to add to a two pages CV. So it is okay if you are going with the one CV. Actually, it is preferred. But if you are going for the two pages, since you have a lot of projects and those kind of things, that is also totally fine. So don't think about those things too much, but keep in mind these things. Don't like add spaces, like visible spaces in the CV, those kind of things. Okay, so okay, this section and impact part, it is also related to when you are adding your projects. So you have to like you cannot just say I have built this one. You have to say why I built this one. What is the impact? So let's say you are saying you used indexing in your project, but you have to say why you used index, what happened after indexing usage. So these are ATS friendly things. Okay, so this will add points to the ATS system. So if you are saying like if API response time got 50% uh, response time reduction after index applying, that one will like highlighted in the ATS system. So those kind of just don't add I did this, I built this, add the impact, some kind of like with numbers. So some kind of impact you can add to the quality. I don't see much of these things in the intern series, but going forward, you can keep these things in mind when you are creating like SEO, SSEO kind of series. Okay. Third part is now we have the CV ready. So we have some projects done. So we have the CV. Now you are going in the job hunt. So first thing is don't just blindly apply for the jobs you are seeing in the LinkedIn. Okay. Check the job description first. Click the job and check the job description. Read it. Uh, Check what kind of a developer they are looking for, what kind of a training they are looking for, and compare your CV with the job description to see if it is matching or not. Okay. So if it is not matching and you have the required qualification for the job, but it is not mentioned in the CV, uh, customize your CV for that specific job. So optimize your CV. Okay. This is very important. You have to check the job description and the CV and check whether your CV is matching the job. So ATS, what ATS is doing is ATS is getting the these keywords, this job description have this required points. And this developer need to have this worked on unit testing or backend APIs, REST APIs, those kind of things they have mentioned. So those points they will check in the ATS system. So your CV should have those points. So what you can do is just um, copy the job description, copy your CV, and add it to the whatever AI tool you are using, and ask them to whether if it is check it is matching, and if it is not, add some data. These things I have worked on. So that AI tool will tailor your CV according to the job description. You can cross check that one and apply the CV. That way you have the better chance. Okay. So these are like tricks you can do when applying for a specific job. Okay. This personalization you should do. Uh, this is a must. Okay. Second point is you have to also you can copy the job description and the CV and uh, put it in a like free ATS tool and check whether your CV is matching the job description. You that way you know how like matching my CV to the job. That way you will know like I am get shortlisted or like that. The second point is so you know this job field like job searching is very difficult these days. So you have like it is better if you can send a message to the recruiter saying you have posted this job. They have this exposure and experience, so I am interested to this. So please consider my CV like that. Very short message you can put to the recruiter. That is also a good way to get the attention. Okay, and also if you have like some inside Gaio connection, that is also very good. So those will get prioritized first. That is the truth. So if you don't have like that kind of a connection, you can do what you can do is do you have like uh, non LinkedIn connection working in that company, or do you have say, your senior or someone in that company and ask them to refer your CV to the question. So that will maximize your chances to get an interview. Okay. Also, don't just limit on the LinkedIn. Check the career pages, and also mm, you can use. There are so many filters, filter conditions. Those things are available in the LinkedIn job search. You can find your matching best opportunities. So what I'm trying to say is, don't just blind apply. This is a part of your job search. So be mindful about this step as well. So so we have done the applying part. So last part is uh, you got the call to the interview. So that is the most important part here. Okay. So first thing you need to understand is when you are facing interview, I think you guys are okay, right? Um, you need any like 5 minute break or something, just speak up. Hope you guys are okay. I will continue. So we are in the last part of our uh, session. So keep the same uh, mindset as the first. So we will shortly conduct this one. So interview is the most important part of the this phase. So first thing you have to understand is this is an interview. This is not an exam. Okay. Don't need to be like afraid, or you don't need to give the exact answers. Uh, those things you don't consider about these things. This is just a interaction between interview panel and you to evaluate you. This is not an exam. You are not being tested on how much you know. Okay, you are being evaluated on how you think, how you communicate, how you handle the pressure. Those kind of things they are checking, not your knowledge, since you are trained. Okay, what I'm saying is I have rejected a candidate with correct answers. Also, I have selected candidate with incomplete answers. We are like don't consider about the final answer. We are we are considering about the how you are getting to the answer. That is the most important part of a interview. Okay. Uh, so in the interview, what you will get asked first is the usual question, right? Tell us about yourself. So this is like a very common thing to us. We are not considering this thing, right? So we are just saying whatever and ready for the um, like a questioning part of the interview. But this is like an important question. You have to get the best out of this question. Okay, so don't waste it. Like you have to be pre-prepared for this kind of questions. Let's say, tell us about yourself. This kind of very generic question. You have to be pre-prepared. Structure this question like this. Okay, as for the same as per the summary of your CV, tell present what you are doing. I'm undergraduate. Okay, past. I have built this and learned this, and I know these things. That also you can. And lastly, you can tell the future what you are aiming for, what you are aiming for in the position. That is how this kind of a question should be structured. First, same as the resume summary. First thing, you need to tell what you are doing in the present. Second, you need to tell what you have done in the past, and tell what you are expecting to do. For a simple example, you can say, I'm software engineering student. I have experience in building full stack projects. I'm majoring in these kind of areas, and I major focus on Java related tech stack, and I have built these project using the tech stack, and I'm particularly interested in building a scalable system. And to that, I'm looking for internship where I can apply these skills in the real world environment. Like that, you can just give an like brief summary about yourself. So that way, uh, interview panel also know what kind of a thing you are looking, what kind of things you are know, what is your background. That tone for the interview you are setting in this section. So just don't like treat this as a generic question. Be prepared for this one, and you can like set the first impression using this problem. So be prepared. So what I'm seeing in the interviews usually are like they don't know what to say. Like they are like behaving as we are asking a technical question. So don't be like that. Deliver like naturally, but you can be prepared. Okay. After that, they will ask about the fundamentals. Okay. So this is very important. This is what we talked of as skills section. Okay. This is very important. This will test your like double OP knowledge and database knowledge, concepts and data structures and algorithm. So these things they will ask. But major thing when you are answering these questions is how you are answering a question that you know the answer. Okay, that is very important. So if you know the answer, don't rush. Like don't just directly tell the definition and move on. Okay, like explain it a bit. Like show them you know the concept and have used it. Don't tell them the definition or answer by the yes or no. Like explain how you come up with the answer. Where this is where you should show your colors. Okay. So you know the answer. You are just beating around the bush and you are giving the answer with the showing that you know this concept as well as the concept related to this those kind of things you can show within the same answer. So it is very good you got asked something you know, so you have to get the better out of it. So that keep in mind. The most candidate fail is when you are answering a question that you don't know the answer. Okay, that is the most important part. If you know the answer, that is okay. Go with our method. But if it is if you give you the direct answer, it is also fine. But if you don't know the answer, you have to follow this method. Don't like first thing, don't fake it. Okay, like never say like I know this and then struggle to find a answer that going at least like don't give a wrong answer and don't confidently say I know this answer and don't say a lie. Okay, that will be like a huge minus point for you. And don't also say I don't know, I cannot remember this kind of answer. Don't give. What you can say is I am not fully sure about this, but here's how I would think about it, and you can give your approach, and you can give some kind of a steps how you would think about giving the answer for this question. You can say I know these things, but this exact thing I don't know. So like you have to direct them and you have to show them this exact one you don't know, that's fine, but I am trying to get there, or I know the other things related to this, so this exact thing I miss, that's okay, but you know the field or the related area, so that you have to focus. Like you have to first break the problem down. Let's say you are getting answered questioned about the specific exception type. So break the problem down. Is this a runtime exception? Is this a compile time exception? You can like ask them a question and using those things, so they know you know these kind of things. Okay, that's good. So relate something to something you know. If it is like a runtime exception, you can say, okay, this same as the null point exception. This is like the, they know you know the null point exception, so you know the runtime exception well. So attempt a direction, like you are trying to get to the answer, but you don't know that. That's okay, but you know the path. So that we know that you can learn. You know the fundamentals thing. This is specific things you got missed, but that's okay. Okay, that is way better than answering I don't know or I know this and saying some totally unrelatable thing. Okay, this is a very good green flag. So this you have to keep in mind, and also don't tell lies with lies with confidence. Okay, so that is also a huge red flag. Okay, so in the interview, so we have passed the skills that question about fundamentals, those things. usually you will be asked this backend language related thing. Let's say, for example, Java. Its syntax, it's how it is work, how have you worked on a framework built upon Java, and database related one, how some queries will be asked, and design patterns, those kind of things we will be asked. So keep in mind those things and prepare for this. So we talked in this about in the skills section, WP design principles and data structures and algorithm, API, how API works, those kind of things. These are common things. Okay, you have to master these things. These are like they are not coming from the total blue. Okay, these are usual training interview ask questions. So you can find the reference material online or use AI tools or whatever. They cannot invent new questions. These are the same thing asked again and again. Okay, so be prepared for these things. Like, don't come to a Java interview without knowing access modifiers, those kind of simple things. Don't come. Okay, be prepared. Like, you are getting the interview before interview call before like day or two for the actual date, right? So you can be prepared. Spend 6 hours or something, and learn what you can grasp within that hour. So within that time. So that way you can present what you know. That is about it. So when you are facing the interview, you can say, I does not have much experience on those things, but see, these things I know, like that. That is about the fundamental technical questions. So after that, what you will get asked about is projects. When you ask about your projects, most of the time they will let you choose it. Okay, as I'm saying again and again, choose the project that going along with the company's tech stack. Okay, don't uh, pick a very random one. If the company is following a money stack, don't take a Java project. Okay, like that. Take a project that goes with the company tech stack, no matter how confident you are in that stack. Okay, and you have to have the idea on it. So after that, what is the most important part is how you explain the project. Okay, don't say like I build a system using Node.js and MongoDB. That is useless for the interviewer. Okay, and then he has to ask again the fundamental question about the Node.js or the MongoDB. Now we are talking about the use case of those fundamentals. So you have to deliver the use cases. Why you used it. So as I was saying, what problem it's all. How does it work? Why you design this way? Those kind of problems you will be asked. Okay, so explain like an engineer, not a student. Tell them what use cases and technical and what is the technical aspect and design aspect. Those things you can say. For example, this is a booking system where user can reserve time slot, uh, car service, as we talked earlier. So I have uh, handled the concurrent booking case, and I am blocking the time slot when user is actively booking the time, so other users cannot select the same exact time slot. Those kind of things you can say. And I have implemented validation logic to prevent double booking, those kind of things. And I have used indexing. These kind of things you can say within the project explanation. So that way you are saying what you know. So see, once that interviewer heard like a keyword from your explanation, he will go questioning that term. Okay, so let's say if you say I have deployed this in cloud using Docker, so he grabbed that Docker keyword and he is asking question about how you use the Docker, what kind of things you use, what are the like benefits using Docker, those kind of things you can he will ask. So this project explanation will like decide how the interview works. Okay. So interview is usually 40 minutes, right? 40 or 50 minutes. So if you are uh, answering questions on a project, with for a 20 minutes, so 50% of the interview is success, right? So other 50% you have to manage. So 50% you have gained the points. So that's why I'm telling you again and again, this project will shape the interview, that you have to understand. You can highlight the keywords that you need to be questions. Let's say the unit testing. You can just give the uh, put the unit testing keyword. I have done 80% unit test coverage in this project. Yeah. Okay. That so one thing I have to mention is not like that. I implemented this to achieve this, like that. Why you did this? Okay. So also be clear about what words you are using. You don't need to use fancy words and show them that you know the English. So those kind of things don't do. Just use the clear words and talk slowly and calmly and take your time when you are answering. Have some pause when you are answering. That is okay. Okay. That way, uh, interview panel knows you are confident in the interview and you are confident about your behavior. Those small details will matter eventually. Okay. So this is actually about what interview panel is feeling about yourself. Okay. Well, no matter how technically good you are or how knowledge you are, that doesn't matter if they feel like your attitude is not good. You cannot survive in a multicultural environment, or you cannot work with a team. Those kind of attitude you have to show, that calm and composure and those kind of things you have to show them. Don't be like robots. That presentation should be there. That is an important part of a interview. As I mentioned, these are the signals you are giving to the interview panel. Okay, these things, keep those things in mind when you are facing an interview. So next one is coding challenge, right? So this tell me a challenge when you faced during the project. That is also a very common question you are getting asked. That is also, they are trying to evaluate how you contributed to the project and what is the understanding of your project. So that is also be prepared. These kind of things, these are pre-prepared. They are not asking how did you. They will ask, but they will most of the time they will ask some question like this. You can highlight, I was implementing this payment gateway and I had issues with this authorization, those kind of things you can tell, and how do you refer to the documentation and test these kind of areas, and eventually overcome the issue. So those kind of guiding you should do. This interview, how the interview is going is totally up to you, not the interview panel. Most of the time. So if it is a good interview panel, they will go your path. They will know what they will test what you know, not what we need. This is an intern interview, right? So they are testing you, not recruiting a developer to build their system. So that keep in mind. Okay. Finally, we have the code. We will have the coding challenge. So when you get a question, first get the total clarification about your problem. Okay, when you are working on a team, when you have got a requirement, you have to question your PM or lead or whoever responsible to handle the team, handle the task, you have to question. You have to get the total idea, 100% idea about the task first before it starts working on. So this is the same. When you are getting a coding challenge, if it is not a usual coding problem, you have to question the panel and what kind of a thing you are expecting me to do. Those kind of approaches use. Okay, and you can say, okay, I will use this array to this kind of thing. You can like think aloud. It's also fine. That way, they know you are not doing this by the as uh, doing this by practice. He knows how to think. He knows how to approach a problem. These are like small things. How you can stand out within the competition. Okay, code is step by step. That is also one thing. You cannot like write everything in one go. You have to come back and change something. So that natural feeling should be there. That's how we know you are okay. He is actively solving the section. Second one is, this is very important. You will be asked follow-up questions. So be prepared for these things. So they will ask, what happened if I put a string array instead of integer array here? What if I use a hash map instead of just a normal map here? Like these kind of things, they will ask. Also, they will ask you to rewrite the uh, like let's say solution using some other. Then let's say you use the Java built-in library, but they need to write this using native Java. So those kind of follow-up questions, you need to be ready. Okay. So also another thing is these coding challenges. What I know from my experience is these are the same things we are asking. Okay, so we are not like creating new. If we are doing this manually, we are not creating these things again and again. We are asking the same set of questions. If you like follow some let's say lead code or other interview guide questions, those will be same in your interview as well. So be familiar with the these questions. So there are those very limited set of questions are there. So if you can be familiar with let's say most of them, you that passing this coding challenge will be easy. So this is how you can kill the interview. So we have done the most part. We have done actually everything. So from our roadmap, we have talked about the skills. We have talked about how to do the projects, how to create the resume, and how to apply, and how to face the interview. Okay, so common mistakes. These are like what I see from the candidates most of the time. Tutorial-based projects, and also no projects at all sometimes. Uh, copied CV sometimes. We know this was copied from somewhere, some data duplicated, those kind of things we are seeing usually, and no fundamentals. We sometimes actually this is very disappointing. So if you are coming to the interview, be prepared. Don't just go for the sake of the interview. Okay, be prepared. So they are spending their time, so you can at least prepare one night before the interview, right? Just check what are the common questions available for these kind of interviews, and you'll be prepared for this. No fundamental these kind of things, you will be not just get rejected. You will be like get blacklisted from the company itself. So keep in mind those things. These are some common mistakes. So so we have talked about the roadmap. So action plan, what I would suggest is first, build your skills, build your fundamentals. So, because without the foundation, without the fundamentals, you cannot achieve any of the the upcoming steps. So you have to be strong in the fundamentals. Choose one language or one style and be mastered. So build some actual projects. Think, okay. So this with this AI and everything, the industry is going away from the actual manual labor, right? That is not happening, but that is the thing they are saying that PMs or organization company level, higher levels believe. Right? But if the thing is what differ between AI bot or something like that with the actual engineer is how they think, so how they approach a new problem. So that thinking you have to show them you got that. What I see from the these new joiners or new candidates, they don't think they have the all the like concepts, all the theoretical knowledge they have, but once you give them like new thing to resolve from your creativity or thinking, they are lacking that area. So if you got the thinking, that is a very good thing. If you if you need to improve that one, work on that also. So second thing is build at least one strong project. So if you are if you have selected one specific tech stack, build a best project using that one, and also build some other project, deploy those things. So spend some time on those things as well. Resume plus applying is also very important. So without these things, you won't even get the call for the interview. So uh, prepare for those things. So interview is structured process. You have to follow each and every step to it best to land on your internship. Right? This is not easy. Don't just sleep on one step thinking this won't matter like that. You have to master every step. So these things you have to do. So that's all for the session. But what I can say is if you need any help, so you are in the university, so you can get the help from seniors also. You can also, if you have a CV that need to be proofread, you can send it to your senior. So you can send it to us also. You can directly send it to me also. I will have a look. I will tell what need to be refined. Those kind of things. You can get the help. Get the use the resources you have for those things. Keep in mind. So this is all for the session. I am wishing you very best of luck in your internship hunting. So I know everyone will get the internship sooner or later. So don't disappoint, don't quit if you didn't get the CVs internship within the 2 weeks or 1 month. Best opportunities come the last. Okay, so don't quit and apply regularly. Be prepared, work on yourself. So wishing you the best of luck. So Nadisha, and over to you.
Okay.
So that brings us to the end of today's session. I would like to extend our sincere gratitude to Mr. Pubudu Wickramathunge for sharing such valuable insights and practical advice. Your guidance will definitely help our students take confident steps toward their careers. And thank you everyone who joined us today. Your participation truly made this session meaningful. And have a good night. Thank you everyone.
Thank you guys for the opportunity and good night. Yeah, best of luck.